Morning, grade 11s. This video is going to introduce you to what we're going to be doing for your final culminating um, for the course. So you do have the week to complete this assignment. This assignment is only going to be worth 10% of your final mark, not the full 30. But it is going to be wrapping up our course and is going to be due Friday at 2:25. Okay, so what you're going to be doing for us this week and your 3 hours of coursework this week is going to be dedicated just to your final culminating. So what you're going to be doing is to summarize your understanding of your whole term of work. You're going to be working as a teacher and designing a multi-step, multi-mark exam-like problem. Okay, so what you've probably noticed this year in this course is that all of the units really build on each other. So the neat thing is, as a teacher, I can design a question, and in one multi-step question, I can test your understanding from all 5 units, which is unique to this course in comparison to some of the other science courses you take. So what you're going to be creating is a problem that should require you to be able to display some understanding from each of the 5 units that we covered. Okay. Also, like any good exam, we're going to provide an answer key and a full solution to the problem so students could understand if and where they went wrong, just like I post answer keys at the end of every week for you. And again, remember, you should be thinking about your formatting, your formulas, your units, significant figures, all of those important things that we learned this year. So here's what's going to be the 3 steps. We have 1 hour dedicated to part A. Shouldn't take you a full hour at all, but you have an hour dedicated to it. So first part is actually creating your question. So this should be a multi-step problem that involves each of the following concepts and requires their understanding. So you should have some knowledge from Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5. So for example, last week we were looking at gas stoichiometry. A lot of the questions you had to maybe understand mass and its connection to moles, which we learned in quantities in chemical reactions, as well as molar volumes, so gases and atmospheric chemistry. Maybe you could add to that a limiting reactant that was a solution. Okay, maybe they had to predict the products of the reaction for chemical reactions. Okay, so essentially you're going to be going through these 5 units and making a multi-step problem that requires each of those 5 units of understanding. Okay. For your question, you're going to get a possible of 10 marks, which is going to be 2 marks per unit. Okay, so did you include it? Was it included very well? You're going to get a mark between 1 and 2 for each of those 5 units. So 5 units times 2 possible marks for each is going to equal those 10 possible total marks. Your second hour of work this week is going to be dedicated for you to be able to come up with your solution. Again, it shouldn't take you an hour. No exam question is going to take you an hour, but you do have an hour dedicated to it so that you can take some time and care and review it and make sure everything's perfect. The solution that you provide should have a clear understanding on how to solve the problem that you wrote. And again, it should include understanding from each of those 5 units. Okay, so I'm going to look at the content of your question. Okay, and there's 2 possible marks again per unit to see if your solution did show your understanding well from unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The last thing that's going to get marked is your solution formatting. So I'm going to be looking at your use of units, your use of formulas. Did you use significant figures? Was all of your process work shown, and was it organized well? Again, these are 5 criteria I'm going to be looking at. And again, there's 5 criteria. You can get a possible of 2 marks for each of those criteria. So did you use units all the time? If every single time you should have included a unit, you had one, you get 2 out of 2 marks. If every single time you should have had a formula, you included it, you get 2 out of 2 marks. Okay. So each of those 5 criteria are going to be marked out of 2 for a possible of 10 marks. So that means the total culminating is going to be worth 30 marks. Okay. Second page has also been provided for you. If you forget what was included in each of those units, you can go back and take a look on our Google Classroom. I also have been written here for you with the big themes or ideas for each of those 5 units. So unit 1, what we went through for matter, chemical trends, and chemical bonding. Unit 2, what we went through for chemical reactions. Unit 3 for quantities and chemical reactions, solutions and solubility. Unit 4 and gases and atmospheric chemistry. Okay, so this is due Friday at 2:25. Okay, which is going to be Friday, June 19th at 2:25. So make sure you've submitted by then. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out at office hours or via email, and we can help you out. Okay. Otherwise, hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, and staying at home. Look forward to finishing up your grade 11 chemistry credit this week. Congratulations, guys. See you soon.